All right. So,
That was like the most refreshing sounding drink. I heard the ice and everything.
ASMR.
oh
Like,
God,
very nice, very nice.
Some bonus ASMR.
some bonus footage. While
I
we
can't do ASMR. I sound disgusting.
is this what we're gonna do? Start the podcast. By the way, we're live.
Oh,
Audio channels have been opened up. What up, everyone?
well,
Um,
hello.
welcome back to the Neon Podcast. It's been a while. It's been about a month since our last podcast, if I remember correctly, because I've been going to the gym for a month and I don't think I podcasted since I started.
My bad,
So
cool guy. You
Okay.
I
slow
gotta
now?
keep track of how many weeks in, and then if I'm making any progress. So
I
that's
like it.
that's why. So yeah, hello everyone, and if you're listening on YouTube or whatever, welcome to my channel. I
Hi
am
from the past.
yes. My name is Neon Penalva. Welcome, welcome, and I'm joined by two lovely individuals tonight. Yeah. So before you guys introduce yourselves, uh, since this is the origin story podcast, the, as you introduce yourselves, the icebreaker question for you is, do you remember when you first met me? That's it.
Like in person.
In general. In
Hmm.
general. Yeah.
In
so,
general, what does that even?
because, alright, Janice will explain as we get into this podcast, which will make sense later on. But do either of you want to go first? Because obviously,
uh,
We just both go quiet.
because obviously, I can't ice break myself. I don't remember the first time I met me.
it's
So,
okay. Just don't gotta break no ice. Leave the.
oh,
All
that's
right. All right,
I'm
I'll
just
go
joking.
first.
Okay, go.
What am I supposed to say again?
just
Oh, how
just
we first
introduce
met.
Your name?
introduce
Okay.
yourself. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
I'm Janice, aka Peach Rose. And let's see, the first time we met, like the first time we ever made contact was definitely in a league lobby. I feel like John probably invited you. I don't really know who else was in the lobby. But I remembered I instantly remembered your username because you had neon, but like your actual name was Neuron. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I remembered that. And then I think the first time we met in person was, shit. Was it Boba Bear?
This is the hard
Yes.
part.
Did
Yes.
we do something before Boba Bear? Wait, was it your birthday dinner or was it before that?
What?
Oh,
That was only last year. Excuse you.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm old. My memory is not good.
oh yeah. Tell
Oh,
me about it.
wait. Was it the Katsu party?
No, before that. Come on,
Alright.
Janice.
Oh god. Everything starts to blur after like 25. Uh,
We have
mm,
Antonitis Anthony in the chat saying, "Yeah, Janice's memory is not that good."
no one asked you, Anthony. Shoot, I really can't remember.
You can't remember?
No.
Okay, the way I think I remember it was, if I remember correctly, this was you. It was you two, you and Doug, John and Ellie, and then me, and then we got Kyochon. And if that wasn't the first
Oh
one,
yeah, no, you're right. That was the first one.
that was the first one, right? Yeah, because I was
Hmm.
like, because I remember the second time we met was we went to the Korean mall in K Town, and then we got dinner in the food court.
Oh
And then
yeah,
because the
Anthony.
reason why I remember that's the second one, I think, is because that's when I met Allison for the first time, Rick's
Oh yeah.
girlfriend.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the second time.
All right, now my timeline is in order again.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool. And when was this, by the way? This was like 20
uh, I
20.
think
We
that
met
was.
in person 2018 for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's no.
Yeah.
I remember because I left work early that day.
Wait, so it's only been a year?
How do you? you guys remember all of this?
Girl, I don't know.
No,
This is all Neuron because I do not remember
yeah, yeah.
anything.
This was like late winter, early spring. This was somewhere
I
around
do
like
remember it was
April.
winterish.
It was like
Yeah,
March, April, in
I
person.
remember it was kind of cold.
But we've been playing for like a year before that because I remember we were still playing League when I was still in college. So we met online
Ugh.
like 2016, 2017. So we've known each other for a couple of years already.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, time
Very
flies.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking League, dude, I swear. Oh my gosh. All right, Sam, you're up. Let's see if
All
you
right.
remember. Shouldn't be too hard.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sam. I've been on this podcast one other time before. Apparently, I have some bad juju where Neuron starts getting bad technical issues every time I'm on it. Sorry. It may or may not be true. No idea.
Getting
Anyway,
DDoSed.
you're about to be really disappointed in my answer. I
Oh,
can
I'm already
I
disappointed.
can already feel the shaking of the head. Really, Sam? Come on, Sam. I know
Alright.
how long I've known you.
Okay.
For sure, we met when we were 14,
O-
like freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And goddamn, I have like the memory of a goldfish. I swear. Is this like homeroom or something?
No.
I'm just
No.
throwing shit out there. Actually, was this No, I'm just gonna stop. I was just gonna start making things up. Was this
No, commit, go.
Was this in PE class?
Uh,
This had to be in PE class. It was about 72 degrees,
Jeez.
light
Damn.
wind. It was
Really
kind of
committed
drizzling
to it.
that morning.
That kind of commitment.
You were wearing an orange hoodie. Your hair was gelled to the left. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. No idea.
That's fine. That's fine.
I hear the disappointment.
Of course, everyone hears disappointment when they talk to me and they say something dumb. I'm just kidding. No, I'm pretty easy to read when I'm disappointed.
Wait, that's bad, right?
Joshka, where's
Or
my
do
mod
you
in the
just do
chat? What's up? I do it naturally because it's like, look, you need to know how disappointed I am. Just kidding. But it's funny because it's like I sound more disappointed, but I'm just laughing. I'm smiling. I'm smiling, laughing because at least
Every time we hang out, you like just SMH at me multiple times. Hold on, let me die for a second.
okay, it's okay. All right, so you want to remember how I remember it?
Do you want to remember how I remember how you remember how I remember?
Oh shit! What?
Damn, you
See,
lost.
how
You
about
lost,
that?
Janice.
How about that?
All right, so do you want to go first or me then?
Go ahead.
So freshman year, I don't think I was. I'm pretty sure I wasn't 14 yet because I was still 13
Oh yeah,
because I'm younger than everyone else in our year.
yeah.
There's only like one other person in our year that I know that's younger than me, like for sure, because his birthday was in
Something
November.
like that. Something
So,
like that.
I'm just
So,
yeah. So, anyways, freshman year, we didn't have any classes together, and the backstory behind that was for whatever reason, I think I got enrolled at Carson High a little later than usual. I don't like I said, I don't know why. I don't know how that happened. And I didn't get any enrolled in any of the honors classes, which is what you and all the other some of our friends were in, right? Um, so we didn't share any classes. Although I did share a couple classes with like some of the honor students, like the ones that weren't honor classes, like health and like life skills and stuff. But like
honors PE.
Hell yeah. But yeah, we didn't have any class together freshman year. But I did know you, or I knew of you, around freshman year because you were friends with some of the other people.
Of me? You knew of me?
Because I knew who you were, but we didn't know each other.
That's not creepy.
Yeah, Josh
I'm
knows.
like,
Josh in the chat.
go suddenly, and I'm gonna block you on everything I got.
Wait, hold on. Time out. A lot of people know of you. Calm down.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
okay.
So yeah, Josh in the chat, Miss Gotra, yeah, in health class. There you go.
My Gotra.
My Gotra. So yeah, but I think that's where I met like some people like Melvin and stuff. But Melvin's not here, whatever. So I met you because I knew of you because you were friends with other people and we hung out in the same general area around the planters next to the quad, right?
Hmm.
And then I remember you dressed.
Oh yeah, next to that giant tree, like near
Yeah,
the staircase.
exactly, exactly.
It's coming back to me too.
And it's like you dressed very eccentric
Don't
back
do
in the
it. No,
day.
don't. Don't.
Oh, oh
Like
man.
like
You dressed
obviously
in
I
blue
don't
and
have any
black.
photos to back this up, and if I did,
No,
I
no, no.
wouldn't put it on the podcast anyways. No, I that's a lie.
These are
I
all
would have put it up.
lies. Yes, 100%.
You dressed, how do I say this? Anime-esque, very I don't know how to say this. It was just like
Oh,
it was
you're
very
hurting me right now.
Are you calling her a
Look,
weeb?
no, 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 not anime-esque as in like nerdy, but like anime-esque as in like eccentric, kind of just like out there. You know, it was
Mhm.
like be like, oh yeah, that's Sam, and you could see her like all the way across the quad.
Damn, all the way across.
No, cause like, didn't you have like those like plaid
That's how
jackets with like the
eccentric it
fur
was.
hood?
yes, but we don't talk about that.
Hey, it's origin story. You guys were all prepared for this.
Yes,
You
yeah.
you
I
you,
used
you
to
knew what
wear
you were
like
getting into.
bracelets like halfway up my arm. I had like cut up leggings. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Cringe. Cringe as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. So I knew of you, and I think you knew of me just because I was loud. So I remember one of our first interactions was
Was it me telling you to shut up?
no, it was you telling me you're Neuron, right? All right. So backstory. So Janice, we were about to go back like 10 years ago. Ready?
Okay, alright, let's do
So
it.
Time travel.
this is freshman year. Like I said, we didn't have any classes, but we had the same English teacher. We had Miss Botlick,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we went on a field trip to somewhere in LA to watch this play performance about Native Americans or something. At some performing arts theater in somewhere in LA. I don't remember what performing arts theater. It was cool though. It was nice, very modern, and stuff.
Mhm.
And
Oh my
then,
god.
do
I
you,
don't remember.
yeah, don't worry. It's not as important because I had to
She's
think
like, this happened?
I had to think about this. I had to think about this. So then
Oh,
obviously,
okay,
we watch this stuff. We watch the play. We're all on the bus. It's like two classes because my class period and the honors class period.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back home, and we go back to our city. We get food, and then we come back to the campus. And we're on campus a little earlier than expected. We still have like probably like less than an hour ish before school ends. But then since we signed a field trip, we're not obligated to go back to class. So on the way back, this is funny. I remember like this isn't much detail I remember because I remember like people who are like relatively important to me. So you guys are important to me. Look
Hey,
at
that's
that.
what's up.
See that? I'm just like slide that in there in the middle of the story.
Oh.
So in going back and on the bus ride back, I think we're going on the bus going back to school. Sam and I don't remember who she's sitting next to. Sits in the bus row right in front of me, right? And then we sit down. I'm sitting with like I can't remember who I was sitting next to. I think I was sitting next to like Mark or Melvin or something. And she turns around. She's like, "Hey, you're Neuron, right?" I went, "Yeah. How do you know me? Because we never interacted directly before."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, and she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, that's me. You're Sam, right? Samantha, right?" She was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's like, oh yeah, I thought you were Neuron because you're the one who's the pretty loud one." I went, "Ooh."
You were like right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat,
Okay,
instant, right off the bat, dude. You're like, damn, I
You
just
were
got
like,
called
we are
loud.
never gonna be friends.
She didn't cut you
But here
any
we
slack.
are.
Yeah, and then we just talked for a bit, and then we would go back and forth, between whoever we were sitting with or our regular friend group, and then
Mm-hmm.
to each other. And then we go back home, and then or not go back home, we go back to the campus, we talk a little bit, and they're like, yeah, cool. I was like, how do you know about me? I was like, oh yeah, you're just like the loud one, everyone seems to know.
I hit you with that again?
No, it's like, no, it's sort of, I can't, this is me paraphrasing. It's like,
A
it's
double
like,
tap.
yeah,
I
it was
know.
like, you're the loud one that like, everyone sort of knows, because at that time I was in Key Club, right? I was joining Key Club, and everyone was realizing,
All
man,
right.
this guy's pretty dedicated, this guy's pretty loud. So everyone in our class anyways, in our period, or in our academy anyways, our ASA crew, knew who I was just because I was loud and I was out there and I was a nerd, right? Obviously. They're like, why isn't this guy in the honors class? And I asked myself the same question. um, so yeah, and then we just talked for a bit, and then that was our first interaction, I think, in person. And then after that, sophomore year, we had like 4 of our 6 classes together, and we always somehow sat next to each other all the time.
We were even in that math class together. What was that guy's name that
Mr.
everybody couldn't
Mertens.
pass?
No, what math? Oh,
No.
Adisa?
Yeah, there you go.
That was junior year.
Oh,
Yeah,
yikes.
yeah. Can I post links? Yeah, go ahead, John. You can post links. Um. So yeah, sophomore year, out of the 4 classes I did have with Sam, at the beginning of the year for like most of first semester, I always sat next to her, which was weird. Like they would have like those individual desks where you have the seat and the desk attached to it, and then the
Mm-hmm.
teacher would put us in alphabetical order by last name. This was Mr. Merton's class, and then when they put it alphabetical, your last name starts with an M, my last name starts with a P, so there was like people in between us. But then since they're going by like vertical columns,
Uh-huh.
we
You
sat
sat
we
right
sat
next
next to each other because it lined up. It was super weird.
Damn.
So yeah, yeah, Josh, everyone hated me. Yeah, that's about right, dude.
Everyone hated him.
Everyone
Meh.
hated me because I was too loud. I made the other non-honor kids feel dumb. But then the only time
You
they
did though.
the only time that they liked me is when they needed answers.
Yeah, okay, this brings me to what something else I do remember is
Oh,
people
Josh.
would ask you about people would ask you like for answers or like to copy the homework and stuff, and then you'd literally just be like, "Oh, you should have done it yourself, or you should have studied or something." And then you would go on to go and
Oh my
turn it.
god.
No,
What a
that wasn't.
teacher.
That was only me sometimes. I was too nice because. All right, so
Hilarious.
all right, origin story. This is me going back before high school now.
Oh
So,
man.
oh man, it's about
Uh-oh.
to get dark real quick. You guys ready? John, sorry if that link doesn't work. I don't know why. I think I have. I should have links enabled. Um, but so here's my backstory, like origin story. So in middle school, I was bullied. Not like a ton, but just enough, right? It was I hated middle
Just
school.
enough.
Just
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 enough.
just enough,
Just enough to
just
grow
enough
character.
for yeah, just enough for me to hate middle school. So
Okay.
so yeah, I was like and just a little bit in elementary school, but more so in middle school, right? So then when I went to high school, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do good in class, even though it's not honors class, whatever. I'm gonna do good. And then obviously people realized I was a nerd. I would get most of the answers. I was smart, whatever. And then um, because I didn't want to get bullied some more, all those like quote unquote bad kids, I would just like more often than not, I would hesitate to give them the answer because I didn't want to get caught by the teacher because I'm a goody two
Uh-huh.
shoes. But in the end, I would
Yeah.
end up giving them the answers anyways because I was too nice not to refuse them. You know what I
You
mean?
were that guy that's like, yeah, but just change it up a little bit so the
Sorta.
teacher doesn't notice.
Yeah, that was me, dude. That was me. Um,
It's not bad though.
yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. It happened, and obviously I grew from everything. So, whatever, man. It's been a long time since then, and shoot, friggin' high school's a long time ago. Kind of
Yeah.
kind of miss those days, like low key. Like Josh, Josh hated Adisa apparently, and quick story about Josh, even because he's in the chat. He was one of the people in my final project group in Miss Botlick's English class in freshman year. We did a rap about
You did a
Gilgamesh.
rap?
We did a rap because we have to do a cover of a song, but it had to be related
Oh,
to the
oh,
book that we read.
I did mine with Kathleen, right?
I wasn't in your class. I wouldn't know.
Oh, oh, we went over this already. My bad. I'm like, right, Neron, help me remember
I'm like, I wasn't in your class.
something
I'm
that you
sorry.
weren't there.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, it was her, all right.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sure, sure.
So yeah, that's it. Me and Josh and William Malahay, the Magic Master,
Mm-hmm.
uh, did a rap.
Magic master. Someone who liked magic.
Yeah, he wanted to be the next Chris Angel, and he ended.
Why is there
Yeah.
always one of those in every class? Like,
No,
One of
but to be
One of
fair,
those.
he did commit, and what is he? Where does he work now? Universal or Disney? Somewhere. He works somewhere and it does magic tricks. So it's pretty cool.
Oh,
It's very nice,
cool.
very nice.
Nice.
Disneyland. There you go. Thank
Disneyland.
you, Josh.
Aha, worked out for him.
Yeah, it works out, man. He committed to it. He did what his passion was, and I respect that. So that's cool.
That's cool.
So,
Nice.
yeah. So now that we got on when we first met, which even for Janice, which has been a couple years now, um, man, what what has changed since from when we first met to now? And obviously, that answer is very big, and you can answer it however you want. Be like, oh, Neuron, you got fat, or
Oh,
um,
damn.
or
Your
like,
eyebrows.
oh hell yeah. It can be like that. It can be like it doesn't have to be about me. It can be about yourself. It's like how our relationships have changed since since we met and since we became friends and whatnot.
Well, I could tell you that you grew like 4 feet taller.
That's true.
I mean,
Like
that's fair.
three, some.
Oh, is that Janice?
What is that?
I think that's
Don't like that.
John. Our own origin story could have its own podcast, bro. Our origin
Part two.
story could intertwine with my life. God damn it. You you get your not just one episode. Your story overlaps like its own series. Janice, are you there? Are you okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I've said my eyebrows. I don't know. You guys can
It's
go
because
whatever.
Josh
Open
put
floor.
that.
Oh, I
Look
mean,
at it.
so
See?
yeah, I saw it. I thought he said it after you said it. So yeah, either of you two, if anything's changed since we met.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, you chilled out a lot.
Oh shit.
No, it's true.
Right off the gate.
No, because you know how her story was. I was the loud one, right?
Hmm.
I was the loud one, and obviously I've
But
toned it down a lot. So.
yeah, you right now is the chilled out version. Surprisingly.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I
I
could
mean,
see that.
What else? What else?
That makes sense.
man, Janice, if you saw high school in me, god damn, I think you would have got fed up with me in like a week.
I mean, we were all different in high school, right? Like,
True.
really different. I was very different. So, that probably would have gone both ways. But I actually feel like you have kind of grown a lot in the last, even though I've only known you for what, 2 years? Is it 2 years?
Three, 2.5, almost three, I would say. No, I would say,
Yeah,
I would say three. I would say three.
yeah. But I don't know, like, I feel like, because, what, I met you when you were still in college and then
Yeah,
when you graduated, and I feel like
yeah,
um, that's a very pivotal time
yeah.
in people's lives
Cause,
because it's like
mhm,
adulting for real.
yeah. I think I definitely want to say around three because I've been out of school for 2 years. My Snapchat it showed me that I graduated 2 years ago on this day or two yesterday. Um,
Yo.
and then
From college.
yeah, like my commencement was yesterday,
Damn.
2 years ago. Um,
Damn.
and then obviously we've been playing for I would say at least a year because I'm pretty sure it was like junior year, senior year ish. So yeah, probably around 3 years. So yeah,
Well, I know I think I started playing with you guys right before I met Doug. And
I wouldn't know.
well, actually, oh man, I don't know. I know I met John right before I met Doug, and Doug and I have been together for like 3 years and 4 months.
I want to say it was after you met Doug because
It might
because
have been
Doug
after.
no yeah because Doug used to play with us sometimes on League.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was after. It was after.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like I might have like played with you on League before, but then oh, okay. John confirms
Yeah,
it was
Josh
after me.
confirmed it was after Doug.
See,
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Josh says high school Neuron was Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron. Hell yeah. When everybody played Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh God.
Dude, we brought Yu-Gi-Oh back. We made it cool for like a year. And then obviously people were realizing they were spending too much money. So then people like me who didn't have that much money to begin with to buy multiple cards, I sold my deck and I broke even. So whatever. But yeah, pivotal graduation time, huh?
Oh God.
He had the dual disc. Why don't I remember?
He didn't bring it to school. Oh no, he brought it to school once, but he left it in his backpack and he never took it out.
He
I
thought it
remember
was
I
gonna
remember that. I
happen
think he
and
did that
happen
at
to
least once,
everybody.
dude.
So he wanted to flex, but not enough to take it out of the backpack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see, John. I
Maybe it
was
gave him that inner confidence, and then he was like, "All right, nah, these guys aren't ready."
yeah, that no, because Melvin at that time was one of the best. It sounds super nerdy. Was one of the best duelists at the time. He was like
He was
easily
really
like
good.
top three,
Oh God.
of players in our school, easily. So yeah,
And
there's
there were a
that.
lot of people that played.
Yeah, that's why I say a lot. There was like I'll say at max probably like 25 people played. Um, Obviously some people didn't have as good cards as others, but whatever. So the tall one, yeah, tall one. Melvin Encarnacion. So yeah, it's been man, that's crazy. What about you, Sam? Do you remember any? What else other than my eyebrow? Has my hair been gelled to the right now?
You gel it straight back now.
Slick.
I don't know. I really cannot think of anything right now.
It's
Because,
okay.
like, as far as I know, personality wise, besides you kind of chilling out a little more, your personality is basically the same. Still got a big brain, too.
You're funny.
Let's see. Oh, you can drive now?
Oh my god.
Oh
You're
man.
not wrong. You're not
Hasn't he
wrong.
been able to drive?
See, Janice has known me since since way later. John says my facial hair is cleaner. Thanks, John.
Nice. Cleaner than freaking, I don't know.
No, he was right. He's right. He's right.
Wait, you used to have facial hair?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I'm
Let's
glad
move
that I
on.
didn't know that
Let's
anymore.
move on. This is not a topic that I don't think we should get into because it's not interesting. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So, um let me okay, so enough about me. So, from your own life, how would you say that you've like grown and changed throughout like would say important times in your life, whatever that may
Oh
be, whether it's like
man.
high school or like Jenna said, like graduation or just anything before and in between. Like I told you, like my elementary and middle school, like I got bullied a bit. So I mean,
Uh-huh.
you guys can be like any pivotal moments that you realize it's like, man, I'm changing or I'm growing as a person, or not even growing. Be like, you can take a step back to take two steps forward. That kind of mentality.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, what about you guys? What is your origin story? What is
Hmm.
Because Sam, obviously, I met you before, met you at high school, so I don't know how you grew up before that because we didn't talk about that much because we're growing up kids. We lived in the now. And then
Yeah.
Janice, every time I talk about Janice in the past, Janice goes, "Man, you make me feel old." And yeah, even John's asking. He wants to know the high school Janice persona. Who is high school Janice? We've talked about our high school.
Oh man, I was like a totally different person because high school for me was almost 10 years ago. It hurt to say that.
Keep going.
But like with regard to changing as a person, the weird thing is I feel like the older I get, I feel like I'm changing more and more rapidly every year. I don't know if it's because I'm becoming more self-aware or if because I'm getting a little more mature, so I'm more open to change. But like I do remember when I was younger, I would think like every 2 years I'd be like, whoa, I changed a lot. But now that I'm older, I'm like, every 6 months, I'm like, damn, I changed a lot.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
know? Like, I just feel like, wow, 6 months ago, I was already kind of a different person compared to
Doesn't
how
that
I am
just
now.
that just goes to show like you don't even know what'll happen by the end of this year. Like your life could be
Yeah.
completely different. You could have learned something new. You might be in a completely different spot. Meet, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just like part of growing up and like because you encounter more and more things, you kind of just start to expect the unexpected,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
as cliche as it is.
It's true though.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys feel that way too? Like, I feel like I started noticing it the most towards the end of college. And then, like, after I graduated college, every single year since then, I feel like I've changed very radically as a person.
Mm. I'll figure that out, John. Um, no, I know what you mean. I think for me, I wanna say something similar because I would say I changed a lot, especially my last year of college, because there was a point where I just got burnt out, and there was a point where I just I just didn't give a fuck. Um,
Mhm.
and I didn't give a shit about a lot of things, and I just let things go. And if I cared enough, then I'll do something about it. But there was a good chance that it's like, I'm gonna just do me, and I put a lot of quote unquote responsibilities because it's like they didn't seem important to me. I put them off,
Uh-huh.
and then there was a point where it's like, all right, look, I would tell people, I was like, I would just sometimes I would bullshit them, obviously because I didn't care. Be like, look, I'm not into this right now. I'm gonna do my own thing. But now after college, and I went through that phase, and I have a bit more motivation and like other priorities that I do find important to me.
Well,
Is
like
is
what do you mean? Like does it have to do with like school, family, friends, work, all of
I
that?
I want to say it was a mix of family and work.
Uh-huh.
Because obviously those are my top two priorities that I can't really escape. Family's family and work. You got to commit to
Mhm.
work, and it's just that for me that I switched from not giving a not giving a shit to like
Yep.
I give too many shits. Like I care about stuff way too much, and it's putting me it dug me in a hole that I didn't want to be in. And that's when that time I had a couple breakdowns because I was under so much emotional and mental stress that it was like I just wasn't used to. And that obviously was a main growing point ever after college, most definitely, but I don't know. I think like what Janice said, like every couple of months I can see it. It's becoming more and more prevalent because I think I have more control per se about what I want to do.
Mhm.
Like, a month ago, 2 months ago, I was having like this quarter life crisis. um,
You're not alone though, for
yeah,
sure.
and then here I am. A month or two later, I'm starting to go in gym. I'm feeling better. I'm being more and more okay with what I'm doing, who I am, and where I'm taking my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I wasn't
Mhm.
I wasn't okay with that 3 months ago, and I'm doing more or less the same thing I was then, but it's a mentality change. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's me. I don't know. What about you, Sam?
I feel like I'd have to say basically the same thing as you guys. It's kind of like as you're getting older, you make these plans out. Like, for example, just out of high school, you're already planning what you want to do, where
Wait,
you
is
want
this?
to go. Things.
Wait, John, is this Janice?
Wow, don't look at that.
Holy, is
What?
that you?
Yes, that's me. That's 15-year-old me.
Dang, the bangs.
I'm not
Anyway,
sure
Sam
what's
was
going on.
Oh,
What's
so
going
if you look
on?
in the Discord chat, you'll be able to see the photos.
John is being a stalker.
Oh no, I had to refresh it because I closed it on accident, so there's nothing for me to see.
No, on Discord, not on Twitch.
Oh, heh,
Yeah.
heh,
Okay.
heh,
Yeah.
heh.
Dear God, Janice.
Oh my god, how cute!
Oh God.
I had like the same haircut.
I think every Asian girl had that
Yeah,
haircut
Yeah,
get out
yeah,
of here,
you're right.
bug.
You're
at
right.
some point.
please, and some layers. Thanks. No, Nero.
Hell yeah. Look at me.
Bruh.
I was a twig with a big ass head and growing a Filipino fro, man.
Wait, how old are you in this photo?
12. I was 12. Oh, oh Lord. All right. Sorry, you were saying, Sam? Sorry, I interrupted.
What was I saying?
Damn, look what you did, Neuron. Or
Wait,
John. Look what you did, John.
okay, John, try now. I think you should be able to post links in chat.
I think you were talking about how you agreed with getting older. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Oh, I think I remember. Like when you're just in high school and you're already making all these plans, you're confident in these plans. You think for sure that you're gonna execute them and everything's gonna go exactly how you're planning it to go. And then once you become an adult and you're actually out there, kind of on your own, um, it's just a like pile of failures, I guess. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys were
Wow.
more successful in your plans, but maybe
Yeah.
not really failures. Over
No,
some
no.
time, I realized that that's not even exactly like what I wanted to. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah, cause you calling a
Totally.
pile you calling it a pile of failures is pretty harsh. I
Yeah,
thought that was pretty extreme.
yeah. I gripped my chest after. I was like, oh, too
uh,
much, too
too
much,
much.
too
Um,
But
real.
yeah,
Same
I
thing with
think
friends too. There are people that you could put. I remember I used to be so um concentrated on getting people to like me, having as many friends as I can. I thought that's what was it. And even now, as of recent, you actually get to find out that smaller circle might be a better circle.
yeah,
you know, going off of what you just said about like feeling like you just have failures, that's totally another thing that I identify with because I remember another thing that I noticed as I got older. I was like, hmm, in my early 20s, I was so afraid of failure
Mm-hmm.
that like my fear actually made me more prone to failure.
Oh.
Like, for example, if I had, um, like, if there were certain conflicts between me and one of my friends, I'd be so afraid of saying the wrong thing that I would end up saying the wrong thing and making everything worse.
So you kind of over stressing about it end
Yeah,
up
like
leading to it.
overcorrecting. Yeah,
Yeah.
overcorrecting. And then,
Mm-hmm.
like, it just makes things worse. And you don't know how to fix it because you're still afraid, but everything's even worse now and you're
Mm-hmm.
stressed. So, one really nice thing about getting older, I found, is you kind of just like, you know what? Like, mistakes are inevitable. It's going to happen. But now you know, like, you've already lived through it. So you know you're
right,
equipped to
right,
handle it.
right.
And ironically, once you adopt that attitude, you start making way less mistakes,
Yes.
Yeah, I
which is
th-
funny.
yeah. It's so interesting, just like because it's just a mindset change of just like sort of maturity, I guess you would say, because it's like like both of you said, it was about like self-image, you know,
Hmm.
and especially high schoolers, and even more so today, I can see it in like how kids talk and interact with each other. It's just like we're so worried about, or we're worried in our case, I guess, how we were seen in other people's eyes, and
Hmm.
it was just, even now, obviously, I'll care enough about a first impression, but then, a first impression can only get you so far in like meeting someone, because like sure, you can be nice to someone in a first impression or like first couple meetings, but if if you're just being genuine from the start, I think it becomes a whole nother thing, because if you're, people say fake it till you make it, and then obviously if you fake too much, people catch on or you'll mess up, and it's just,
Mm-hmm. I feel like that only applies to, or you end up finding out that that phrase only really applies to some things,
yeah,
like
yeah,
jobs. And
exactly.
now, like in high school and especially middle school, because I was I had basically no friends in middle school. I was also bullied a lot. Um, I used to be somebody who I wasn't to make these people like me. And now when I meet people now, or even if I have old friends that you can tell are starting to like distance themselves from me, I still don't feel the need to really force friendships now or force a kind of me that I'm not in order for them to still want to be my friend.
Yeah.
Which brings it right back around to me not minding having a small circle anymore, if that also makes sense.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, I think just from those days, I think we've had a lot of time away from high school, and I think for me, anyways, like college helped open my eyes and be like, look, obviously, trying to find, like you said, trying to be something that you're not isn't working out. I'm just like, look, I'm gonna just do me. I think
Yeah,
I
I
think I
wasn't
realized that a
happy.
little late. Yeah. Um, 'Cause I entered high school. I was bullied. I'm like, nerdy neuron. I watches anime. I'm gonna reinvent myself, and I sort of did, and I
Hmm.
became the loud guy who's overly spirited, and just too damn loud.
Now at our age, that's the kind of stuff people want in a person.
Yeah, and then now here I am, just like, look, don't waste my time. You're wasting. I don't
Exactly.
want to talk. Just
And then, I'm
yeah,
sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, no, I'm good. I'm good. Go.
It's kind of like the moment that you just started embracing who you actually are, the kind of hobbies that you have, and just you start to gravitate, or the right people start to gravitate to you naturally when you're just yourself naturally.
Yeah.
I find that's what's happened.
Yeah, yeah. For me, like I said, I think I realized it a little too late. Because I realized it like later in college, like probably like later my third year, my fourth year. That's why I stopped caring about a lot of stuff. Because it's like, look, obviously this is only gonna get me so far. It's only gonna meet some people, and obviously I did regret me not going out of my comfort zone a little more to do what I other
Yeah,
stuff I
of course.
wanted to do and hobbies and stuff. But
Hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. Maybe in another parallel universe, I did do it, and maybe things would have been different. But here I am now, podcasting about it. um, yeah. I mean, anything else you guys have to say about like that in general?
Hmm.
Whoa, what is that?
What
Uh,
is that? You said there was a lot there.
Yeah, it's just like overall growth, per se, like in the long term from who you are now to obviously John wants to bring up high school. High school age version of us. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just want you guys to talk.
Oh,
I mean,
uh,
I don't know. It's kind of strange to look back on it now. Like high school was literally so long ago for me that when I talk about it, I kind of feel like I'm talking about someone else.
it does, doesn't it? It's like if
Especially when
I
I look
could
at oh yeah, like especially if when I look at high school kids now, I'm just like, "Oh my god,
I
you were born
hate
after the
you.
year 2000."
I can't believe it. They're turning 19.
Like, oh man. It's
Some
just
high
hard to wrap your
schoolers
mind around it.
nowadays are kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
but
you're
then you
just
think
like,
about it and it's like that had to have been us too.
No, no,
mm,
no. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
man, we used to complain about our days and being tired, and now when we actually have real things to do and are really tired,
I know.
I would, if I could go back in time, I'd slap the shit out of my freaking high school self.
no, I
Get your
wouldn't.
shit
I
together.
I wouldn't. For me, I would be like, yo, you're doing the best you can. You could probably do better, but that's me too. I'm not doing my best.
True. I would give some advice though, like maybe um stop caring so much about certain things. Maybe start focusing or changing your priorities. Things like that is what I'd tell myself.
Yeah, for me, I would be like, what I just realized in the past 3 months is like, look, you need to start doing things that better yourself. That would probably
Yeah.
the biggest be advice for me, because I wouldn't say I did stuff to better myself, but I did things for other people, because I like to see other people happy and stuff like that, and that I was always, that was always my thing, and it still sort of is my thing, but for less people now. But yeah, it's just like you need to focus on you and your smaller circle, like you said. So
Yeah. It be like that.
Yeah.
okay, so now that we talked about back in our
We're all
day.
depressed now.
No,
That was heavy.
It
That's
actually made me feel older than I actually, or older than I feel. I'm just
I
like, wait a
know.
second.
This is why I don't like talking about high school because it reminds me how long ago it was, and I'm just like, oh
Oy,
no,
oy.
oh
no.
no.
I mean, you guys can look at it that way, but I mean, how I see it, and then obviously, depending on how I feel, I'll see it in different lights, even though it's the same damn thing that I'm thinking about.
Uh-huh.
It's just like, look, I can look at it as a good way. It's like, man, I've gone so far, I've went through all these things, and I'm just like, I'm still a I still think I'm a cool person. I like me to a point. Um, but then obviously there's a bad point. It's like, man, I could have done that better, or I regret that, and obviously that's
Like in the past?
yeah. It's like
Uh-huh.
obviously you can do that. There's always different ways to look at it, but now
Yeah.
it's just like for me, what's happened, and I can't change that, but I can always learn from it. You know what I mean? So that's what people always say to better themselves. It's like if you don't learn from it, then
Mhm.
what's the point?
That's
Mhm.
Um,
true. I mean, if we
True that.
didn't go through what we were going through in high school, then we wouldn't be where we are now or
yeah,
turned out the kind of person or people that we are now,
yeah.
which I think is a good thing.
If I got discouraged by the fact that you called me loud, we wouldn't be friends.
Oh yeah, that could have done like a whole butterfly effect right there.
God damn
That's
it.
crazy.
Funny thing else about the origin story about or me and Janice.
Wait,
I,
I'm sorry. Did you say do you know funny thing else?
I don't know. I'm lagging. I can't
Ugh,
speak.
I had to
everything.
call you out. I'm a dick like that. You know that.
No, it's
All right,
I didn't
let's
fine.
even
carry on.
notice
Let's
that.
move
It just
on.
like made sense to me because
You're like, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
What's the
yeah.
funny
I was
thing
like,
else? Tell me.
yeah, yeah.
So
Go on.
the funny thing that I remember about Janice, I didn't
Uh-huh.
know Janice's name when we
Uh-oh.
played online for like how many months. And then
Wait,
when we
what?
first, dude, I didn't
You
know
said you
your.
didn't know her name?
Yeah, so you know how he said we played online
You
League, right? On Discord and all that stuff. We always called her
They call me
Peach.
Peach.
I never knew her name for like at least 3 months. It was weird. So everyone called her Peach, Peach, Peach. You know?
I remember there was like a transitional period where people were getting used to calling me by my actual name
Yeah, that was
instead
hard.
of Peach,
Peach,
because
Janice.
Peach sounds like a name too.
It was such a hard transition for all of us, especially if we played with you for like so often. It was,
you guys were like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
In my heart, you're Peach.
yeah, and then obviously now I know you more as Janice longer than I have with Peach. So now I just call. I'm okay with you calling you Janice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I actually felt weird hearing you guys call me Janice too at first. I was like, wait, oh, that's my
Oh
name.
right, that's my name.
That's my real name.
Yeah, because I think it was just us and our friend group where it was we just got used to calling each other by a first name basis because it was easier, right? And then you
That's
came,
Peach.
and then we were like, yeah, her first name is Peach.
I just came out of the internet.
Yeah, John remembers, but John says he started doing that after the first time you met Janice. He met you in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I didn't meet you yet. I was still in the Bay Area, but still trying to remember your name in that transitional phase was hard. So, yeah, because we were playing with her for at least a couple of months, calling her Peach all the time, and be like, "Oh, that's your real name? Your real name's Janice?"
It it's still like sometimes I think about it and I'm just like, wow, it's so crazy how we met because I feel like you guys are a pretty significant part of my life now.
Ha. Yeah.
Like like I could actually see us being friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what's
Dare I say forever.
Oh, ew. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Forever,
Sorry guys, Getting
ever.
emotional.
I think that's funny too. I think there's some people like Roger who's only met you like once and still sometimes calls you Peach. You like him,
He's still in the
Rick,
transitional phase.
yeah, Rick has his moments where he just yells out peach. I'm just like, ha, got that. The hell was that? You just pour some water?
Ugh, I didn't like that.
I just spit out some water
Yeah, it
because
didn't sound good.
I
I'm
tried
like,
to
it
drink
didn't sound.
something and then I realized it was a really old cup and I immediately spat it
It,
back out.
it did not sound like liquids going in. It sounded like liquids coming out. Ugh.
I'm sorry. I just like reached for a cup. Oh my, why is this even here? I need to clean my room. Okay.
Ew, gross.
Please continue. Oh my god, I'm
Or
so grossed out right now.
something Janice still hasn't grown from cleaning her room.
Oh God.
John in the
Okay.
chat.
Some things don't change.
John in the chat. Neron would message me in the middle of League and be like, "What's Peach's name again?" That's true
Oh yeah.
because obviously it was the people we played with back in the day was John, you, me, Nico, and then our fifth would usually be random. It would be like Reneo,
Alex.
Neil, or one of
Yeah.
John's friends.
I remember Alex a lot. It was
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah, we put.
John, and you. The three
Oh
of
yeah,
you. I
Alex would be there
remember.
a lot. I don't know. Uh,
I
yeah,
remember those are the three that I remember the most. And then the last one would
yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so we talked about the origin a little bit. What about future stuff? And if you asked me now, and if you asked like even past me, if what my plan was, I still have no fucking idea what I want to do. uh, other than like a big road trip.
Nervous laugh.
sweating.
Yeah, just sweating profusely. Uh, but other than like just small goals, I would say just like, oh, I want to get a car, right? I want to buy a car for myself. I want to do a big trip. Other than those things, I don't really have like long-term goals. What about you guys?
Hmm. I mean, for me, I'm in school right now for veterinary. And
Oh, nice.
thanks. And then the program that I'm in to be an RVT, it's basically a registered nurse for. But so I graduate next in a year from this month actually,
Hey.
and then I'm probably gonna work off my loans,
Ooh.
and then probably I know, God, it hurts.
I know that's me now.
Yikes. And then probably go back to school to get my PhD, become an actual doctor.
Like a
Hey.
human doctor?
No,
Where
a veterinarian.
Yeah,
oh,
because
So I
okay.
have to go back to school for another like maybe
Because
three
I
and a
was
half
like, aren't
years for
you
that.
already an actual doctor? I was just confused.
no, I no,
It's all good.
your comment confused me. It was like you're gonna work from animals and being a vet to humans.
I
I was
know,
like,
because
I
I was
don't think
like,
that transition works.
aren't you still an actual doctor?
Oh
Okay,
It's all
god.
good.
I got it. Now, I have a whole new appreciation for vets because my best friend just got a puppy. Well, not just got a puppy. She got him like 6 months ago, but I
Still a
recently
puppy.
sat him while she was in Mexico and he did some very bad things. We ended up at the ER.
Uh-oh.
So I have a whole new appreciation for vets after that experience.
So basically, you would have killed your dog's friend would have died coming back from Mexico.
He tried to commit suicide, okay?
What?
He,
The puppy?
yes, because he's crazy. He tries to eat literally everything and
Oh my God.
That's not
he
suicide.
he
Like an
ate
edible?
a tampon.
Ugh.
Like he swallowed it.
Like
Oh
a
my
like a like a
God.
like a used one.
Yes.
Oh, so they had to do surgery on him to get
We
it
didn't
out, huh?
know. He luckily passed it, but we didn't know that he had consumed it until one day, like 2 days after. Because, okay, what happened was we went out for an hour and I had not properly secured him in his pen. So he got out and just went on a party throughout the house eating stuff. And we didn't know he had eaten that until a couple days later. I brought him back from his walk and he just vomited part of a tampon. And
Yikes.
I was like, oh my God, that was when I rushed him to the ER. And yeah, that was an ordeal. Luckily, he just passed everything. After that, I
Damn.
was like, wow,
Lucky.
vets are doing God's work because
There,
Oh
y-
my god.
there you go, Sam. So if you ever come
Y-
across a dog that swallowed a tampon,
You
it's
you know what? Like a lot of people, there's like a big misconception about it. People just think like, oh, you're a nurse for animals, or oh, you're a veterinarian. You probably don't really need to know much, or it's like you don't really have to do. But I'm
Mm-mm.
literally learning.
Mm-mm.
Like, let's say just to intubate, like, or um get an animal ready for surgery, basically. So you have to do like all that anesthesia. And
I
there are human doctors that are just doctors for like anesthesiologists, but I have to learn how to dentistry. I have to know how to do like suturing,
Yeah. Okay. I actually feel like
surgical.
it would be harder to be a vet because
It's
you would have
difficult.
more than one animal, you know, and animals have
Exactly.
different anatomy. Like
Uh-huh.
human bodies are all more or less the same. But like, you know, like a dog isn't the same as a cat or like a
Exactly.
bird or a rabbit or a guinea
Yeah.
pig. And like you
So
guys will have to know how to deal with all of those situations. I think that's crazy. Like
I
I
mean, I
could not.
already knew what I was getting into, but a part of
Yeah.
me was kind of like, yeah, I'm learning about this kind of stuff for multiple species, but it shouldn't be too much. But it's like, here's
So
an
much.
entire list of medication to give a dog and like the contraindications for it, why it's used, and how it
Mhm.
works in the body. Oh, but it's completely different for cats, rabbits,
Mhm.
horses. So memorize those too. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God. I'm all stressed now. Like,
No, it's okay. You got this, girl. You're
I'm
doing
still
God's
down
work.
for it.
Mhm.
Ugh.
yeah, that's crazy, man. You have to deal with so much. You have to
Oh,
deal with
yeah.
everything.
I wish we got paid more though, but
Yeah,
they're
clear.
just
They're
animals.
just
So.
animals. You filthy animal.
I don't know, man. They're not just animals in like LA, in like Beverly Hills or West Hollywood.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Is there some bougie animals?
Yeah, you got a horse.
They eat better than you and I do. They live better than we do.
Yeah, random thought. I saw a video about this dog in China. He has a lot to himself, which is,
Oh,
which is,
this guy, he bought like an apartment for his puppy, right, or his dog?
What the
yeah,
heck?
it's like worth
Or was it
like,
a cat?
it's like $1.5 million worth
Just for his
just for his dog.
dog.
He has his
Just
own house, his own pool, his
uh-huh.
own yard, just for his dog, because he's rich and he can do
What
that.
am I doing wrong?
Dude, that's
You're not
disgusting.
being a dog owned by that man.
Oh, okay. That's a hard pass for
Hard
me
pass, hard
then.
pass. Yeah,
Hard
exactly, exactly. Okay, so damn, it's. I'm trying to think about like all the different things that I've done or experienced because or with you two, and like I'm just like mixing up stories of what happened and ah jeez, it's crazy.
I mean, I feel like most of our stuff is online.
Yeah, but then I just tell you things and sometimes I forget that I tell you things.
That's true. We have talked about a lot of things. We've had many talks, heart to
Yeah,
hearts.
and you've also like went off on me for like 10 minutes talking about who again?
Huh?
About that artist this past week.
Oh,
You went off on me for like
Diana Ross and the Supremes. Dude, I was educating you. You're welcome.
for like 10 minutes. I was like
I was
I was
expanding your mind.
I was like I'm at work, Janice.
Yeah, but it's a Facebook Messenger. You can read it later.
I was
Like,
like, okay, uh-huh.
I just, typed up a quick refresher for you. You're welcome. I just want all my friends to be educated and worldly, okay?
True, true. Oh, okay. Now I remember something I want to talk about. Um, obviously this is very different between the both of you relating to me, but um, for Sam, there was like a big time, especially when I was in like college. I would say like my sophomore year up until after I graduated. There was this time where we didn't really talk. We would see each
Uh-uh.
other like once a year, and
That's
like
how you know we got busy.
yeah, I mean we got
Mhm.
Or our
busy.
schedules just never kind of matched up. But what's weird too is I feel like not only there were even times where we wouldn't even contact each other or just wouldn't even try to make plans. But then even let's say if we haven't even talked for like an entire year, this was mostly when you were up in Berkeley. And when we would link up and stuff, it would be like I just saw you last week or
Yeah, it's weird. It's just there's just that gap that throws me off. It's like we've known each other for a long time, but then that gap always throws me off because
how
like
so?
so I'm used to just like interacting with people on
Uh
a
huh.
relative basis. It's like, oh yeah, I'll talk to this person like once a week. I'll talk to this person like every other day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then there was you, like one of the few friends that's like once a year, and I wasn't used to that of someone that I was like close to, and I enjoyed talking with and stuff, and then I just wasn't used to it. And it just because obviously we're still cool, but like now I'm just like I look back and I was like, man, I don't know how we managed.
How
That's
we met?
so
How did we do
interesting.
this?
Um, I feel like that's really interesting because I think most adult friendships kind of are like that. Like they become more elastic, so you can go periods without really talking that much. But then when you meet up
True.
again, it's like nothing has
Mhm.
changed.
Only with like true friendships though, because there's some people who if you don't
Oh,
contact each other for maybe like a month, you guys just never talk again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Wait, actually, remember Neuron? You asked me like recently. You were like, "How do you maintain a friendship with someone that you don't like see or talk to or hang out with?"
Yes.
And I gave you like the blow by blow. I was like, well, if you've already laid down the foundation, like with you and Sam, and it's like a very lengthy, solid friendship, you could you guys could survive like only saying talking to each other and meeting up like
Mhm.
once a year. But if
It's
there's
like
no foundation, like then you can't.
it's kind of like this unspoken thing that me and Neuron we're like friends, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, were you just saying yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, I mean now I can see that. Obviously it makes sense to me as I'm getting
I
older and stuff like that. But
I also actually feel like I out of all my longest lasting friendships, I don't have a single one that continued uninterrupted for the entire duration.
What do
okay,
you mean
like
uninterrupted?
like there was
Like
no long
like
breaks in
where
between.
yeah, like where you consistently
Ah.
speak to each other multiple times a
Yeah.
week.
Oh, I
Like
see.
all the longest friendships I've had have been friendships that kind of like ebb and flow. Like at sometimes some periods you don't like talk as much, but you
Mhm.
always come back and you're still close.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing. I think.
What's weird?
Oh, go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh. What's weird for me is a lot of my friendships nowadays, not all of them, but a lot is pretty long term. I've only ever met up with them maybe like twice a year or something, or if we go to like a kickback that's for New Year's, like that's when I'd see them and we still talk like we just saw last week. Maybe it just depends.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do that on purpose, but
Well,
I just realized that.
I think it's just because as you become an adult, as you become older, you have more responsibilities and your life kind of
Uh
changes,
huh.
you know, like because we enter different stages of our lives and we're still young enough that the stages happen fairly frequently.
Mhm.
It'll probably stabilize a lot more when we're like middle aged.
Right.
That's true.
Hopefully.
But
Yeah.
like for example, every time you graduate a certain level of school, that's a whole new stage, you
Uh
know?
huh.
And like when you switch jobs, that's a whole new stage.
Oh man,
Uh
I
huh.
switched like jobs like I've had like 4 jobs in the past year.
Yeah, so that's like four different stages of your life, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's pretty dumb.
It really is. Like it really changes everything. So I feel like that's kind of why. And I feel like it just feels normal to me at this point.
That's true.
Like,
Have you guys ever had like this point in your life where, or like part of your life where you were kind of scared to make changes? Like you just got comfortable with your routine, where you were at, what you.
I think that was just me. That was me this past 2 years. Like Janice said, I've been I don't say job hopping, but just different jobs and just trying to raise my niece, helping raise my niece was such a big task for me.
Like, are you afraid of making like a big change or a step or something?
It's like, taking that big risk because, there's if I make a decision, it's not gonna affect only me. And I think taking that into account, like if I did that in college, if I could just like go do something or spend some money on something, it wouldn't be that bad. But if I do
Mm-hmm.
something like that now, if I do something careless or reckless, and there might be bigger consequences. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
there's more at play now, for me than I would say than ever before. I think that's why
Well,
I'm trying to make positive changes step by step slowly to improve myself so I can improve other stuff later on.
mm-hmm.
So yeah.
For me, for maybe like 3 years, I got really comfortable with where I was at. I was working as like a server at a restaurant, boba, and then I was just going to community college. I would just hang out with my friends every night and do, SSDD, same shit, different day. But I was comfortable with that. And for so long too, I'm like, okay, I'm making steady money. I still see some of my friends every now and then. School's okay. And then after a while, I decided to just make like a, I quit my job after working there for like almost 3 years. Finally decided to go into this veterinary medicine program, and then now I'm working two other jobs. And I don't know, I was always too scared to do that. It's kind of someone that wants to cut their hair and they just keep talking about it but never does it. Me,
Mm.
by the way.
Yeah.
That's me, by the way. I am.
I think I have that problem in reverse where I never let myself get comfortable because I'm scared that I'm going to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So it works against me because I'll have like a good thing going, but I'll be like, oh, like I'm getting too comfortable. I need to be moving on to the next thing. And I'll just like leave before I've actually established something of
Maybe this
value.
is all a preference again too, because there's some people that really like the routine, and if it works for them, then it works for them. And then there are people like you, Janice, who are like, I don't want to be too comfortable here. I want my life to kind of be spiced up a little more because that's what you want. So you like to do more constant changes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like at this point I'm kind of like, girl, you need to get your shit together because
Yeah.
we ain't getting any young.
Oh,
But
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like for me, I think the reason why I feel like so scared to make change, like I said, there's risk, but I think is also a big factor for me is just stability. I
yeah.
don't have stability. If I had stability, I would definitely be more comfortable. If but
Okay.
since I don't have that per se, that's why I'm just still so scared about like the near future. You know what I mean? That's
So
just me.
in your mind, you're more thinking this is okay for now.
Yeah, it's like I need to do something. I need to be extra cautious in case something does happen,
I get
because
you.
I don't have that stability. You know what I mean? If I
At
did,
least.
I'm okay with taking a little bit more risk and be taking more change. But since I
Hmm.
don't, I have to play things more cautious. I have to play things by ear.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're not really happy or like we want to move on from where we're at right now, at least you even have a mindset or a plan to that this is not where I'm going to be forever.
Mhm.
Because there are some people that I, no names, there are some people I know who are just, they've been in the exact same spot doing the exact same thing for years now, and there's no sign of them, making any changes or um moving up, I guess, moving up in life. Not that they're in a bad place, but they're just not doing what they could do with their life to its fullest potential. You could tell when you talk to them that it's like, I don't think this person plans on budging like for another couple years or maybe ever, something like that.
Oh, I
yeah.
see. That's true.
So I think it's good if you have like a plan, or if you at least you've got some kind of motivation that you don't want to be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
doing this
I'm
forever. It's not
I'm
bad
definitely
though.
the latter. It's just like I'm gonna do what I can now, play it safe, and then take the bigger jump later. I think,
Yeah.
and then what was the other one? It was like I don't have like a solid plan. It's just like, look, whatever happened is gonna happen, and I'll do my best.
Uh-huh.
That's it. So that's me. I know a lot of people have trouble doing that. Like you said, like I know some people who are just are okay with where they're at, and I'm just like, I've been
I
in their
mean,
spot, and like I can't blame them because I was in
yeah,
their
same here.
yeah. I was like, I've been where you've been, but I want you to take that step. You know.
I'm not even and for me too, it's not even that I'm trying to put myself on a pedestal or anything compared to,
Oh
oh, they
yeah.
should listen to me, listen to my advice. I'm like doing so much better than them and we're in the same age, blah blah blah. I'm not saying anything like that at all. I'm just saying like, hey, I was kind of like what you said, like I was where you were at, and then when I just decided to make little changes or even a big change, like my life got a lot better. So it's like,
Yeah.
you want to consider that?
I think it's because people. I think it's human nature to if you're not grown to take people's advice without like a grain of salt or like seriously, you know what I mean? If it's I could take someone's advice and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but I won't apply it to myself. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
people don't know how to apply themselves. Like myself, I didn't know how to apply myself to a lot of things, to a lot of advice that I
Mhm.
take. I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and I would say that to a lot of shit and be like, because college, a lot of people were being real. And I was like, oh yeah, I get you, but then I didn't do it, and I think that's just a different story and like experience overall. Because I give a lot of people advice, and a lot of people give me advice. But it's everyone lives their own life. I can't force anyone to do anything. That's
True.
that's what I always say that when I give people advice. They're like, look, if someone asks me a question, this is how I would answer them. This is how I would do things. But then I always end up by like, look, but
But I
I don't live
don't
your life. You got
but
you
I
you
don't
do what you want to
know.
do.
You
Yeah,
do you, boo boo. But with these people, I care about these because they're my friends.
exactly.
But I would never again be like, hey, you're where you're at right now is wrong. You're already in your mid 20s. What are you doing? I would never say that to them. No one wants to hear that. I might get that from their family. I mean, everybody around our age kind of gets, like, oh, do you have a boyfriend yet? Oh, did you graduate school yet? Where are you working? Did you move out yet? Blah blah blah. And it's like so stressful just hearing it. It's like I'm working on. Hold
Yeah.
on.
I think I don't know if I told Janice this, but I know I told Sam this like Monday. It's like 30 is the new 25. Our generation's different. We do things differently.
Mhm.
Times have changed.
Mhm.
Sucks. And obviously we don't like that because the older generation is like, you should do this, this, and this, and we're like, look, you're not living my life, but I know where you're coming from, and I know you have
Yeah.
good intentions, but you need to stop.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like with those people, probably the best way to motivate them would be rather than telling them something, is asking them like, "Are you happy?"
Oh yeah.
And then they start
Being
crying. No,
like,
I'm just kidding.
like, "Hey, like, I just really want what's best for you. Like, are you happy? Because if you're happy, then I'm cool. Like, I'm glad you're happy. And then people will be like, "Yeah, I'm happy." But then they go home and they think about it. They're like, "Am I happy?" Like, think about it. Like, am I really happy?
Yeah,
Because I think it's a lot harder to ignore that voice when it comes from inside as opposed to when it
true.
comes from outside.
True,
I've
true,
had
true.
that voice in my head a couple times. Like, what am I doing actually?
Dude, that that
Yeah.
vo- that
And that's
voice never leaves.
you move.
Yeah. No matter, like, even now, like, I think I'm at a pretty steady flow with my life. And I still think that. I'm just like, am I really going the right direction? Can I do this? Like, what comes after this? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
This whole podcast. Yeah.
It's deep.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what happens. It's an origin story, and like just because these are stories that we'll acknowledge and keep. Um, and
Backstory.
yeah, and it's like, let's say if you ever have kids, and be like, these are stories that you might tell your kids. Might
Yeah, we
that
might
like
even
that.
look back on this and be like, wow, what was I thinking?
Yeah, and then be like, we won't show them the photos, like Genesis photo to your kids, but it's like,
Oh man.
You
but it's
can't even, you're so messed up. You can't even say
no,
it without.
because Janice doesn't want to doesn't doesn't want to acknowledge her high
No.
school self.
Oh, I'll show it to my kids.
Yeah, but then the
Be like,
point
"This
the
is
point is the point is that that they're life lessons. Um, whether lessons to our own lives that we can teach to other people. And I think that's important. But we're still in there. We're still struggling. We're still
We
on that
still
grind.
in it.
We still in it, man. We're not even close to that point yet.
Don't trip. We good.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot. Okay. So there's one point that I didn't get to put in. This is like 10 minutes ago about like the maintaining friendships and stuff and like those breaks.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So the one thing I just want to bring up, I think the reason why I wasn't used to that break for me and Sam, but like
Mhm.
that's not talking much. I think it's because
Mhm.
high school and college, you make friends because you see people a lot, right? You're used to
Yeah.
seeing them on a daily, weekly basis in person. You're like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Mhm.
All that stuff. And then I'm just used to constantly interacting with people. Whether it was like Janice, we played League, and like all the other people who I played League with, or like I just want to have a nice conversation with you, week to like every other week, and it's like I think that's what I just wasn't used to, and I think I just got worried that because we didn't have that, it was the it got me just that's why I was like, how did we manage? I just wasn't used to it, so it was a new experience. That's it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
No, I get what you're saying though. You're just like this is weird because as far as I know, in my head, to
Yeah.
maintain a relationship, you usually keep in contact pretty. But with this chick
God damn it.
who doesn't even reply to my text,
God
like I'll
damn.
literally be like, he'll text me, I'll reply a year later and be like, sorry, was taking a shower.
No, seriously, there'll be like points if I don't even know if my phone can go back that far. Obviously, I don't think it can.
I'm
There's
sorry,
like
I'm not a
old
texter.
iMessages where it'll be like, "Hey, what's
He's
up?"
pulling up the receipts.
I
Be
know.
like, "Hey, what's up?" A month later, "Yo."
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What you need?
another month. Hey, and then
Imagine
2 weeks
you're
after that, "Hey, sorry, I was busy."
Oh
like, what
god.
you
that
need?
what?
Well, I needed you to take me to the freaking hospital a month ago, but okay. Just kidding.
It was funny. It was funny. Cause like I mean, you're not the only person who used to text me like that. That's why now
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
told
used
me
to it.
that.
So I'm just like I'm used to it now. So I'm just like whatever.
I'm
If we're friends, we're
sorry.
friends. But um, yeah, I think it was just super funny looking back at it now. You look back at it. So
Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not like I was emotionally scarred or anything.
I'm sorry.
Just kidding. But yeah, I
It's
mean, do you guys have
bad.
any last words? Podcast has been going on for about an hour 17 now, so that's pretty good. Pretty good.
We had some good talks actually, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was
Anything?
this was nice.
Yeah.
Good good talk.
I like having these kind of talks with people because it it kind of makes you feel a little less alone with what you're going through because I know a lot it seems like they're not going through a lot or early life crisis and things like that. And then I
Mhm.
usually feel like it's just me, like, again, that head my the thought in my head where am I doing the right thing? Am I even in the right place right now? I'm always getting stressed by like family pressuring me and things like that. But when you talk to people like how we did with you guys, it's like, oh, it's actually pretty normal and other people go through it too. Growing up, man.
Yeah, agreed. It is nice to know you're not the only one
Hmm.
feeling crazy.
Feeling true, true. Did you say crazy? You right?
Right, man.
It's like,
True
okay.
that.
It's not crazy if everyone feels that way, so
See?
I'm good.
You know that question? It's like if all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge? I don't know. Are we all crazy? God damn it. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I mean, also good talks, good talks. But also, sorry, I did that twice. It's weird.
Huh?
Do you guys have anything like any special plugs that you guys want to put? I've been listening to podcasts and be like, when you have guests on, if you want to plug your social media or whatnot, or any special projects you're working on that you want people to see. It's not like anyone watches this podcast, But do you want to plug
Aw.
anything?
Don't say that, Neuron. Don't put yourself down. The world already does enough of that to us.
Okay.
Dang, real quick, 0 to 100.
Yeah. So do you guys want to plug your social medias or something, anything?
I don't have anything. I'm so lazy about my social media. It's
Same
pretty bad.
here. The only thing I go on is Facebook,
Oh,
and that's just to animal videos, and that's it.
I
Literally,
will,
that's it. I don't even text very well.
actually, I can shout out Dougie Zhang, and his stream,
There you go. That's
and
something to plug.
Instagram. My boyfriend, who plays Fortnite, almost qualified in the qualifiers last weekend.
Ooh, my bad.
Yeah, so I guess that's my plug.
Dougie
Nice.
Zhang, check him out. I'm a editor on his Twitch channel.
Yeah, aren't you a mod too?
Editor. I'm better than a mod. I can do
Oh
stuff to his
shit!
channel.
Damn.
Oh shit!
You and
Okay.
me are his editors. It's like there's like there's regular
Oh,
viewers.
that's right. They
Then
added.
there
They
then
added
there's
a new
like
step.
there's like Twitch Prime, and then there's mods, and
And
then
then
there's
they
us,
added.
and then there's Doug.
Yeah.
So we're up there. It sucks because every time Doug streams, I'm at work.
Oh yeah, I know. He does
Uh,
stream pretty early.
he streams from like 1 to 4 or 4 to 8, and I'm just like, oh man, I go to the gym and stuff, and I can't see him stream
Womp
because
womp.
I can't watch his stream at work anymore. Because
Oh
new
yeah.
job, yeah,
New job.
new job, different job.
It's okay.
But yeah. Other than that, well, thank you, you two, for coming on this podcast.
Anytime.
Appreciate your talks, our memories, and your insights. So, for those who are still watching live stream or on YouTube video, if you want to be part of a future podcast, just hit me up, man. If it doesn't have to be about your origin story, because if I don't know you for that long, there's no origin story. We just met. There's
That
the
can you
the
can
origin.
you can make the origin story
Yeah,
on the podcast
yeah. It's like
live.
it's like you don't remember we met like 12 years ago. I'm that guy you met at that one place at that one time. Your hair was gelled to the left. uh,
It was raining.
it was really a little drizzle in the morning.
You had an orange sweater on.
But yeah. So yeah, thank you again. Like I said, podcast going strong. Next week is another potential origin story part 2 with some new guests. Hopefully Kemp will be back and he'll tell his side of the story of how he met me. I feel like it'll be completely different from how we tell it because he's super alpha when he's on my podcast.
He tries. Damn.
He is. He's
Like
he,
frog
he
in my throat.
but yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Are we gonna do some ASMR before our podcast ends? Janice, are you gonna spit out some whatever drink in that cup?
You guys are
Oh,
doing
God.
like nasty ASMR.
Okay.
She's over there spitting things out. You're over there like
Choking.
gurgling.
Gurgle. All right. Here we're gonna do some air airline.
Reverse ASMR.
No, some airline pilot ASMR. You ready? Some role play. This is your captain speaking. Thank you for watching this podcast, and
What the hell? That's actually pretty good.
we're going. This
What are you
flight
doing?
is going to be landing in about 15 minutes. The weather is a bit windy today, so we'll be feeling a little bit of turbulence on the landing. And
I just
thank
like
you.
literally looked around because I was
I
like,
know. I was
I'm
like,
not on a plane, right?
And
Am I dreaming?
thank you for flying Neon Airlines, and
Is this
have
dream?
a wonderful game. Have a
Are
wonderful
we in the
day.
Matrix?
this is pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It sounds
Thank
like
you.
it's like really in my head.
Yo,
or
what the
right in my
heck?
ear.
Awesome. So, all right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube,
Thanks.
watch out for the next episode. I don't know when I'm posting this. Peace.